There's this weird story in the Bible where a woman's oil and a jar of flour are infinite for a while when she helps out this prophet. And I think this actually has something to do with today. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. So the story goes, there is a severe famine, and God sends Elijah to a place called Zarephath, and he finds a woman there gathering sticks, and she is going to make the final meal for her family before they succumb to hunger and die. And Elijah goes up to this woman and he asks her to make him a little bit of bread, which at this point seems really rude. But he says if she gives him some bread, that her oil and flour will not go out until basically the famine ends. And so she does, and it happens. Now, the background to this story is essential for understanding it, the cultural background. In the ancient Near Eastern culture, hospitality was not something that was voluntary. You actually there was a cultural expectation to be hospitable to anyone that asked you, especially if they were from out of town. And so when Elijah asked this woman for bread, there is an expectation that she will give it to him. And yet, it's a severe famine, and her family is about to die from hunger. And so there is this real pressure of like, is she going to do it? Is she going to give him this little bit that she has left to be hospitable? And of course, in the story, she does. She gives him the last little bit that she has left. So I think it does say something about today. And that is that this idea of abundance and scarcity. Because there is right now this sort of global idea that there is scarcity. And I don't mean that there's not enough food, although people are dying of starvation all the time. I'm talking about what the actions that the idea around scarcity creates. And that's like hoarding and keeping all kinds of things. And so that's things like this billionaire, the increase in the number of billionaires who are hoarding all kinds of wealth and resources for themselves. And so one of the things that this passage is saying is that this idea of hoarding and sort of keeping everything for yourself all of the time is bad. Even in this extreme example. So this extreme example proves the general idea that you don't need to hoard, right? That God is wanting you to sort of support each other as humans. And this pushes back very much on this billionaire economy and the way that our society is structuring and allowing this kind of hoarding in general. And then, of course, there is a deep valuing and provision for this very poor woman who is an outsider, right? This place, Zarephath, was not in Israel. And the God of Israel is valuing the sacrifice of a very poor woman that is from another place. And this is like God showing that like hoarding is not good. And especially it's important to care for, to use your resources the way God used God's resources, to care for the poor and the marginalized and the outsider. So this is just another way that we sort of underscore this idea that when you read the Bible in its original context, you actually find all kinds of critique of our modern world and instruction on how we should live, the policies we should be making, and the way we should be structuring our world.